Hello there BookTube, and I've got another instalment of the books that I bought for myself during my little hiatus, so let's just get straight in there. And the first one I've got to show you is Picnic at Hanging Rock by Joan Lindsay. It's a vintage classic edition. A lot of you may know that the BBC are currently doing a dramatisation of this book, and as you know, the law is you've got to read the book before you watch the adaptation. Quick read. I'd heard little things about it, my husband had heard more about it, and I'm quite happy to not know too much about it. I couldn't possibly watch the adaptation until I'd read it. Then I got the remaining two books in the Embryo and the Ashes trilogy by Sabaa Tahir, The Reaper at the Gates and A Torch Against the Night. I still haven't actually read the first book, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this series, so I would like to get to it pretty soon. And obviously I don't want to be left hanging if I haven't got the next one to go on to. I'm not entirely sure what this series is about, but I think your recommendations are good enough for me. Now we've got Cersei by Madeline Miller. Again, look how beautiful and coppery gold the cover of this book is. And I read The Song of Achilles with Eleanor last year, I think. Absolutely loved it. I've heard that this is even better. I just love the way she writes. It's got a map inside, and you know, I just love a book that's got a map in it. If you take off the dust jacket, this is again what it looks without the dust jacket. So much effort has gone into the production of this book. It is absolutely beautiful. It is just a thing of stunningness, and I believe that the book ain't bad either. Next I've got to show you Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This is a beautiful Virago Modern Classic edition. I think they've produced quite a few of these lately. If you can have a look, there are little bees on it, and I just love bees and anything to do with bees. It's got beautiful French flaps as well. And I don't know much about this one either, but I did buy it thinking actually this is one of those books that I ought to have read, and who could resist a cover like that? So that's on my massive TBR shelf now. Well, you might have noticed that I'm a bit of a history fan, and so I've just got some more non-fiction books to show you. I've got How to Be a Tudor by Ruth Goodman, How to Be a Victorian, also by Ruth Goodman, Victorians Undone by Catherine Hughes, and Unmentionable by Therese O'Neill. And these are all about day-to-day life. I really like the social history aspect of history, about what it was like for a real person to live in those times. A couple of them, like Unmentionable and Victorians Undone, go into, this one particularly is about how on earth you lived as a woman in the Victorian era. And I think this is a little bit more of the darker side of Victorian life, which again, we're all fascinated with. Don't pretend you're not. The next one is Out of the Blue by Sophie Cameron. Angels start falling from the sky, and it just feels like that the world is coming to an end. It just follows a family whose father becomes obsessed with catching one of these angels alive. Very strange, but let's see what happens there. And you can't blame me for buying this next one. This is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. It's everywhere on BookTube. Everybody's raving about it. You can't deny me this one. I don't actually know too much about it, but you know, I trust you, and if you're loving it, then I'm going to love it too. Next one again I've seen on BookTube a lot. I think it was more last year than this year, and this is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I don't really know what this is about either, but I do know that a lot of people have absolutely loved it, so you know, buy with one click, it just seems to happen. What can you do? Next to last one is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Christoph. Absolutely love this series. What am I supposed to do? I've got to read it. I have read it. I loved it. Had to, you know, finish the series off. And finally, we have Record of a Spaceborne Few by Becky Chambers, the final one in the Wayfarer series. I've absolutely loved the other two, so I had this one on pre-order for ages. So that's it. You're all up to date with all the books I bought while I've been away from BookTube. So it's been great catching up with you. Let's have a chat in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of these, and I will see you all soon, BookTube. Keep reading. Bye!